Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ravneet. Today I have an exciting update for you guys for my 50 Shades of Green project pan. So this project pan was started by Jessica, Amanda and Cece. It is a Pantastic Ladies collab. Previously they did 50 Shades of Pink and 50 Shades of Purple. And this year we are doing 50 Shades of Green. If you want to join, please feel free to join and you can use the hashtag 50 Shades of Green. I believe that is the hashtag and I will link it down below as well. But before we get started, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to my channel because I make a lot of panning videos. Now, let's get into the update. I have really exciting update for this one, as I mentioned in the beginning. So, before we get to that, let's just get the least exciting part out. You can check out the intro of this project. I will link the playlist down below. I am panning a lot of skincare samples sort of items. Not all of them are samples, but most of them are like really travel size products. And for rest, I have eyeshadows. Like I could have just put some nail paints in, but just forgot about them. Anyway, for eyeshadows, my goal is to use all of the eligible eyeshadows 10 times each. And I have spoken about them and I've shown them in my intro video as well, because I won't be showing all of the products in this update. I will be only showing the products that I have made some progress on. So for empties, I was able to finish these two face cleansers or face wash sort of samples. The first one is by Josie Maron, and I chose this because it has green letters on the back. That is done. And the next one is from God Daily, and it was their purifying gel cleanser. I was able to get 2 uses out of this one. This is done as well. My thoughts on those, I think they're fine, but they both were really drying to my skin, especially the Josie Maron one. It really dried my skin out. And I am working on rest of my skincare samples slowly. Now let's get to the eyeshadows. This is one of my palettes that I introduced for 10 uses goals. I had 7 eyeshadows in here that I wanted to hit 10 uses out of, and I have hit 10 uses on all of those eyeshadows. But the exciting part is that the progress is so visible and I hit a pan. This is how the palette is looking like. There is that juicy Lucy pan, as Steph Leons would say. And I have a huge dip going on this eyeshadow. It's called Baby Face. So I had these eyeshadows in 50 Shades of Green, except for these 2 browns. I think all of them are looking so well used now. Let's get to this eyeshadow. It was in my numerous project pans previously, so I first introduced it in my Labor of Love It project pan, and I had to use it like 50 times in that project, like it was my goal. And then it also rolled in my project 10 uses, so I used it another 10 times. And surprisingly enough, in this project, I hit goal on this, like not goal, but I hit pan on this on the 10th use. I did not touch it afterwards because I was so excited to see the pan. I think I hit pan on it after 65 uses. And I'm so excited about all the dips getting bigger as well. But for now, I will be putting this away because I have other green eyeshadows to work on as well. This is not done yet. I have super exciting progress to show you, but before, I just want to get out rest of the eyeshadows out, like the one that I have used a little. So for this Hela palette, my goal is to use all of the eyeshadows at least 10 times. So for month of May, I was able to use all of these eyeshadows at least once, and I think that's how I will keep going with this one. Each month, I'll try to use at least all of these eyeshadows once, so that by the end of the project I would have like my goal met. On the shimmer eyeshadows, there is some disturbance, but not a lot because I haven't used it a ton. So I'll keep using the Halo palette, and the other palettes that I have used are my Jackie Aina palette and Jungle Lights palette by Flower Beauty. So I have one shade from both of these palettes, like one shade each. In the Jackie Aina palette, I am working on this sponsored eyeshadow. The tip is really huge, you guys. I have only used it once in this project, but I have a lot of uses on this one previously. So I'm really excited to see it getting used a lot more because this is a really pretty shade. But so far I have only used it once. And the other shade that I have only used once is from Jungle Lights palettes. It's called Anaconda and it's the middle shade. Yeah, not a lot of disturbance on this one because I don't have any previous uses on this palette either. Like I have only used it like 2 or 3 times previously, like the whole palette. These are like the shades that I will be, I think, focusing on for the month of June. And the last palette that I used a lot, but I have not still met my 10 uses goal on any of those eyeshadows, but the progress is insane. It is my Revolution X Tammy palette. So in here I was working on, or I am working on 4 eyeshadows to use them 10 times each. I think I'll put a picture somewhere here on how it looked like when I rolled in. This is how the palette is looking like. Insane amount of pans. I am super happy with the progress that I was able to make on this palette. I think the major reason why it has a lot of progress is A, I used the shimmers in frankening, so they were already thin, and B, the pans are really shallow. C, the mattes are really powdery. Let's talk about the eyeshadows that we have in this project. The first eyeshadow we have is this called Calypso, and I think I have hit pan on like 3 places. Is it a pan? No, that's not a pan. But yeah, there's a little pan here, and I hit pan and I expanded it. I even have a side pan on this as well, which I'm excited about. So far, I have used it 9 times and I hit pan on it on the 4th use. Moving on to the next eyeshadow that I have in this project, it's called Greens. It was somewhat shallow because I have it scraped out in my Frankly My Dear pan project pan. Like I did it last year, so at that time I wasn't anticipating to like finish it or anything like that. But nonetheless, we have pan on this one. So far I have 7 uses on this one. I don't quite remember after how many uses I hit pan on this one, but I'll try to find out if I have it documented somewhere. And then moving on to this eyeshadow, it's called Definitely, and I have used it 6 times for total, and I was able to hit the side pan on this one. There we go. The shade next to this is called Saint Catherine, and I have used it 5 times, and today is the day when I hit pan on this baby as well. It is really powdery, like both mattes. I think all mattes are really powdery and it's so easy to hit pan on them. I am wearing all 4 of these shades on my eyes today. So I have the first shade called Calypso in the center of my lids, and on the outer corner and a little bit of inner portion of my eyelids I have the shade called Cocoa. It's in my Pan That palette. And on the lower lash line I have shade called Greens blended out with Definitely, and I have this Saint Catherine shade in my inner corners. I topped my inner corners off with a little bit of shade called Calypso. And I hit another pan on this palette. I already had pan on this shade called Soka, but I hit a pan here. So I would wear this eyeshadow with greens. I would put it in my inner corner. It really pairs well with greens, because sometimes like if you have all of the green look and then just basically have this pop of light purple on the inner portion of lids, or basically just using it as a lid shade, it really looked pretty. So yeah, that is everything we have for this palette, and I am so excited to see like all of this progress. Honestly, I think I can finish this eyeshadow if I really focus on this one, and maybe I can finish this eyeshadow as well. But for now, I just wanna like hit my 10 uses on all of them and then just roll them out, and I will hit my 10 uses on other greens, because there's like still a few palettes that I haven't touched and they are in this project. So we'll see how it goes, like if I'm able to get my 10 uses out of all of those eyeshadows. I might roll it back in, like if we still have, you know, some portion of the project left. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's all I have for this project. I think for the month of June, I try my best to hit 10 uses on both of these palettes so that I can move on to different ones, and also just to finish using them 10 times, like the 4 eyeshadows we have in here. I think it should be doable, because I already have a lot of uses on greens and Calypso. So I think once I finish hitting my 10 uses on them, I can move on to the eyeshadows that we have here, because they're both shimmers. So I think it should be fine, because I can pair them with like different colored mattes. In my first update, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all the greens, but now as I am going through the green eyeshadows and I have like figured out how to pair it with like different colors or other colors, like not to have just a monochromatic green look, I think I am excited to be working on them. Like I am not feeling overwhelmed at all. So every time I open a palette and just reach for green, I'm like excited to just see what I can come up with this one. I think I should take like more pictures wearing green eyeshadow, or if I'm wearing it in a different way, not just like a regular monochromatic look. I mean, I wear regular monochromatic look too. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of experimenting with, like to pair with green or maybe like tone it down a bit, because we are in summer and I think this is the perfect season to be wearing green, or like just the vibrant green, and I would not be wanting to reach out for greens in like, let's say, fall. So yeah, so far I feel like that we are on a good track, and I'm excited to be working through my products. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. I hope you enjoyed the update. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye.